Yes, it is true. The Black Ace Hockey Podcast. It's been a while since I did this, Jenks. Is back in action. My name is Blaine, and I'm right here as always with your co-host Nick Jenks Jenkins. What's going on, man?
We took a little hiatus, so I get it. We got to shake the rust back off. But yeah, man, we're back at it again and doing one of our favorite things to do and talk hockey. And yeah, lots to discuss today.
Yeah, it's been a fun couple weeks since we've been on here, but life happens and we gotta adjust. That's how you know what is this adulting the kids are calling it?
Yeah.
Adulting works. So yeah, it's been nice. Hockey's been. I feel like there's not a lot of drama. There may have been drama maybe a couple days ago with one game, but outside of that, I mean, Quinn Hughes is back. Austin Matthews is not back. Ovi is still scoring.
Hmm.
I feel like it's the same sort of carousel that we're
Status
used to.
quo.
Mark
Yeah.
Stone's back on long-term IR. Uh, Miller Daddy's ripping it up. I mean, might as well just call it to 2024 again. It's just the same thing.
Some
Uh,
things never change.
but we
Some
found
things never
topics for
change.
everybody. We have topics. Don't worry. We're freaking super genius out here. Just Mark Madden this shit up. We'll create things if we have nothing else. So, don't everybody worry about that. But Jenks, how's it going? What's
It,
you been up to?
it's a going, man. It's going. Yeah, it's we had to take a little hiatus just due to overlapping schedules with. I've been busy with work, been traveling a little bit. Then I've got my own hockey stuff going on, and you've got some commitments on your end and your refing stuff, which you're moving on up in the world with refing.
I'm going
Um,
somewhere. I don't know where,
go,
but I'm going
going
somewhere.
somewhere. You're doing something right. That's all I know. The people like you,
I
so
must I must
that's a
just
good thing.
look good. They're like, oh, that kid looks great in a pair of pants. Let's. I got my pants tailored this year, Jenks. I went to Taylor. She's
Did
like,
you?
what do you want me to do with these? I'm like, I need them tailored. And I'm like, the ref pants. So yeah, um,
That's
yeah,
why you got a
it's
shout out on that media page for being the
Clanko
best
Media.
fucking
Yeah,
ref.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
he's gonna be disappointed since I cut my hair, but he's gonna have to deal with that. Yeah, the boys were talking about that in the locker room, so I'm like, yeah, I'm a big fucking deal. No matter where I go, Jake, big fucking deal. I put asses in seats. Sell tickets. That's
They
my
don't
main
come for
job.
the hockey; they come for the ref.
No, I never come for the hockey. Hockey's trash. Hockey is trash.
Oh man.
But anyway, yeah, that's good to hear. Scheduling in adult land is always tough. But we work past it. We're chilling. We got an NCAA game on the books this year, actually. So we found some time to do that. So that's gonna be interesting. We'll talk about that a
Yeah,
little later.
yeah.
But yeah, man, let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna start off at a light drama day. You know, I wanna
Sick.
I wanna hear your take on this one team that's thriving this year. We shit talked them last year a little bit. At the beginning of the season, we said, "Hey, I need to see this guy step up. I need
Yeah,
to see certain people take the next step. You know, 2, 3, 4 years in the league. I need to see you make progress. We don't want to be Patrick Laine, where we fall off a freaking cliff in our third year and never recover. Now, I
yeah.
get circumstances happen, but we still need to perform at the level that we were drafted at.
Hmm.
And that is Connor Bedard. Basically, everybody was like, "Oh, this is the next McDavid. He's next Crosby. He's the next Wayne Gretzky." Slow your
Hmm.
roll, pump the brakes. The kid's freaking 19. He gets the A for Chicago. They put an A
Hmm.
on his sweater. What's your reaction to this?
Yeah, I mean he's in year three, right? So at some point you got to start looking towards your best player to say, hey, it's time to take on a leadership role. Um, it. I do think he's coming around a little bit. Certainly on the score sheet, I mean he's having a great season with points. More aligned to what people expected out of him for
Yep.
sure. But it seems to be, and I've seen some reports on this too, that it seems to be that he changed his training regimen in the off season, And I think it was Celebrini had a quote where he said, I've been training with Bedard, and he just feels like he's having fun again. And sometimes that's all it is you get so frustrated with yourself, you stop playing your game, and you just don't look right. I suspect that's what happened all of last season, and we're starting to see Bedard come into his own, have fun playing the game again, and be that player that the Hawks expected him to be and everybody expected him to be.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because like I feel like we talk about this all the time where some of these kids that get drafted and their NHL comparison is like David Pastrnak or Sidney Crosby or
Yeah.
Ovechkin or Evgeny Malkin. You're like, okay, yeah, but why can't we just let them develop for a couple years and then say like, hey, here's our path for you. Your path is Malkin's path. Your path is whatever. Where we're putting these kids in and expecting greatness right off the rip. Where Connor Bedard steps in to carry a whole franchise. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, the kid's used to winning over in the WHL. I'm sure he won every sort of award and game growing up, like through his younger years of playing. So he's
Yeah.
not used to like being at the bottom of the barrel on teams. So I'm sure that took a hit of his confidence, and plus all the media, the PR that went around him. I'm sure, everybody wants to say like it doesn't affect him, but it does. It
Mm-hmm.
does. Just look at Toronto. We'll get to them. Just look at Toronto. So I think it's nice to see him having fun in the land of the misfit toys called the Chicago Blackhawks. This whole team is out to prove something. I mean, Kirby
Yeah.
Doc. I mean, Sam Lafferty was bounced around the freaking league, cut from Pens like 19 times. He played over here in Altoona Mustangs. But, Nick Foligno's still kicking. Nazar is stepping up this year. I just
Yeah.
think some of these players are playing with a who cares attitude. Like Spencer Knight. Like, who cares? Who cares if I suck?
Yeah.
I'm already on my fifth team. This is my 19th team already. So I
I don't think he's been around as much as you think.
he's been on Florida, and then I thought he went to Detroit.
I think Spencer
Oh,
Knight
that was
went.
the Leon kid.
Yes, you're
Lion.
thinking of the
Okay.
other guy. Yeah, Spencer Knight. So yeah, I will defend Spencer Knight
Don't defend him.
from your savagery here
Don't
because
defend him.
he was a really high pick by Florida, and I think they wanted to keep him, but they're like, well, we just signed Bobrovsky to 10 years, 100 kajillion, so we don't really, can't afford to pay two guys.
Dude,
So
they had a nasty goalie room though.
oh
Alex
yeah,
Leon, him, and Sergey. Like,
yeah.
you can't keep all those guys.
Talk about depth. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
But yeah, it's nice to see Connor Bedard get the A. Probably on track to get the C eventually. I think what the Blackhawks need is a number two guy, kind of like Tays and Kane, Crosby,
Yeah,
Malkin, Ovi, Backstrom. Like you need that guy to help him instead of him carrying all these second
yep,
liners, third liners. So hopefully the Blackhawks figure it out, but not very soon. They had the 2010s. They were
yep.
unstoppable. Please, we don't want that again. It was impossible. It's impossible to get through you guys. It was sickening actually. Like Pens always been good. Like yeah, we can win, but we can lose too. Blackhawks in 2010, Jenks, it was they always win, and it's just like fuck. Now we got to play Blackhawks. Corey Crawford makes no sense to be a good goalie. No sense. Guy looks like a freaking Tonka truck.
Tonka. Oh my
Stupid.
god! I hope he hears that. I've never heard anybody described as a Tonka truck before.
Yeah, he's a massive human being that's so slow but good. I don't know.
He think of the team he had around him though. Like you only had to be an average goaltender when your team was Taves, Kane, Patrick Sharp, Duncan Keith. Like they were loaded
Yeah.
in that era. So
You know what team's not loaded right now, Jenks?
hit him with it.
The Toronto Maple Leafs. These guys stink. Yes, Austin Matthews is on the IR and half their team seems to be on the IR, but holy Christ. They were like, bye Marner, we don't need you. Yeah,
Mhm.
you do. You do. You
Hmm.
do. William Nylander can only carry the team so far. Somebody needs to be in there, and you know, I don't know another phrase that I can say on our family friendly podcast, but somebody needs to get in there and freaking whip somebody. Just get in there
Yeah.
and straighten these boys out because
Yeah.
it's tough to watch right now.
If anybody can figure out what's going on, you probably have a coaching contract in your inbox. So
Right.
take a look for that if you
It's
think you
probably
got a
from like
solution.
the Geek Squad Gmail where you actually paid $400 for your service.
Yeah, just make sure you click on that link and don't worry about. Just click on that link and enter all the information it
Enter
asks
your
for, and
information.
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto is. I don't even know what to say about them. They lost. In theory, right? We all realized it was going to be a hit with them losing Marner. Like Marner's a good player. He was, Matthews' wingman. He was the setup guy, and it just seems like Marner might have been more to that team than anybody realized because
Right.
they just can't seem to get things going. I mean, they're not scoring goals. Granted, I know Matthews has been out of the lineup a little bit, and I think he's close to getting back. But man, they were on a 5-game losing streak there, lost to some pretty bad teams. For a team that was, you assume they're coming into the season with the goal of being one of the best teams in the East,
Yeah.
and
It's
to
it's
right
their
now,
year. It's their year.
yeah, it's always their year. It's been their year since 1979, or whatever. I think it's 79. But
I wasn't around,
they
that's for
can't.
sure.
That's for sure. Um, yeah, they can't get anything going. They can't generate offense. They're not getting the saves. I mean, Joseph Wool just came back from injury, so maybe that helps them. I think Stolars is still out too. But this team just looks like a shell of itself. And if they can't get out of this slump, like the question isn't where are they going to place, like who do we play in first round this year? The question now for Toronto is, are we going to make playoffs? And that for the roster that they have on paper, they should be an easy playoff lock. They lost Marner, but they still have a lot of good players on that team.
Yep.
With Matthews leading the charge, Tavares is a 2 center. That's a really good 2 center. I don't know, man. It's a dumpster fire right now, and they got to figure out something quick because they're in trouble.
Yeah, it just seems like I was reading the interviews between Max Domi, Craig Berube, and their GM. I forget his name. His last name's Treveling, but um, it just seems like there's lack of effort, lack of confidence. I know they've been through a little bit of a coaching carousel within the last 10 years. So maybe it's just like shit. Now we have to uh, learn a new system, or like is this system going to be the one that puts us over the top, or like maybe you look at a system and in like being in the NHL for so long, you're like, are we really going to play a 1-3-1? Like, do we want to do that? Um, so like it's some of those things where you see these top end talent guys like Austin Matthews and Nylander, Tavares, Nyes is kind of creeping up there now, where you have to put them in situations to score. Like we've seen the Pittsburgh team have that trash coach Mike Johnston that just did not allow Crosby to enter the zone. He's like, Crosby, you dump and change. Every time
Yeah.
you cross it, you dump and change. Like what are we playing? Like what? After that guy left, I think Crosby had like 19 million goals in his first game. Like it's insane. Like just that little switch in like belief that like, hey,
Yeah.
like I don't want to play a 1-2-2. Just let me guide my line into a position to score. Like sometimes you have to let these players do that. Like as a coach, you're basically a motivational speaker. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you are. You have to just motivate professional athletes that make millions and millions more dollars than you do, which is tough. It's tough. So we'll see if they can figure it out. I know their goaltending just seems to be always hit or miss. They're kind of like Edmonton, where like you get a solid 2-3 games out of somebody, then they're hurt, and then they go all the way down to
Yeah.
the AHL. Then they flop out. I mean, look at that guy from last year and the year before from the Kings. What's his name? Um, shit. What's his name, Jenks?
I don't remember who you're thinking of
Yeah,
now. The
he
guy
let
from
he
the
let in like
Kings?
everything, and then went down to the AHL and let in everything, and then went down into ECHL and let in everything.
I don't remember who this
Ah,
is.
yeah, you do.
He was on the
He
Kings and
was
then he went
from the
down.
Kings and then got signed to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, yeah, I'll figure it out.
What?
By the end of this
Okay.
podcast, I'll know who it is.
Normally I'm like, oh yeah, it's that guy. Normally I'm all over it. And at this one you've got me stumped. I don't know who you're talking about. I remember the guy who went down and got shelled and went down and got shelled. I don't remember him signing with the Leafs.
Jack
I can't
Campbell.
remember his name. Jack Campbell. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, guy's literally
But
garbage.
well, he played himself out of the league, but
That's what I mean.
he
He went all the way down.
yeah, but he didn't sign with the Leafs after that happened. He was the Leafs
Right.
goalie
I'm
and then
saying
that
he
happened.
got signed, and then he
Yes.
let in a
Okay.
ton of goals,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
sent
Yeah.
down, let
Yeah.
in more goals.
Okay. Never mind. I'm
Yeah.
following now. I got you. I got you.
Yeah. Jesus. Okay. Anyways, tangent aside, what do you think the fix is for Toronto? Put yourself, Jenks, in the locker room right now. You're looking at
Yeah.
Nyes in the corner. Matthews has a suit on in your peripheral.
Yeah.
Nylander right in front of you. Joseph Wall maybe stretching over here. Stallers
Yeah.
has a suit on. What do you say?
Man, I mean, I like the point that you brought up as a coach at this position. Like, as a coach in the NHL, obviously you're not teaching these guys the game. They are professional hockey players. They know the basics of the game. Your job is, like you said, to motivate these guys, but to also figure out what the other team's systems are and what their strengths are and try to use your players to counter that. So if you know they've got a particular strategy, you're countering with the strategy. So you're more of a game manager and a motivational guy than actually a teacher, right? So if you're the coach at this point, if I'm Berube and I'm in this slump and I'm looking around the locker room and I'm looking at these guys, I'm like, boys, do you realize how much talent we have in this room? Like, we have been a top three team in the East every year for the last, how many, 6, 7 years now, I think it's been at this point. We've been a top three team in the East for 6, 7 years. We still have 90% of this roster intact from every year. There's no reason we can't get back to that. We just got to dig deep and make it happen. Get out there, get the pucks on net, start banging bodies, play hard. Every shift, you're 100%. Don't go out and dog it. Don't flutter pucks around, weak tape to tape passes. Snap it around out there. Get them on net. Let's score some goals. Go out. I want to see them go out and have a 50-shot game. I don't
Okay.
just get the pucks on the net.
Right.
They're not scoring goals right now. Put the pucks on the net, and I guarantee you're going to accidentally get two or three goals just by putting it on net.
They don't ask
So
how.
they don't ask how. They ask how many. It doesn't have to be a perfect shot. It just has to be on net, and it's got a chance. So that would be my message. Let's dig deep and let's get it going here.
That sounds like me in NHL. Just get it on net. Why are we dancing on the blue line and turning it
No,
over? You know.
you in NHL is get back door. I'm going back door.
Hey, it's always if it's a free goal, Jenks, I'm taking it. Just like you said.
It
If it's a
it
free
works.
goal, it might go in.
It works.
9 times out of 10, it's going in. That one time, all right, you tried. So it's a good motivational speech for the boys. I think they're gonna listen to you, and hopefully they can turn it back around before playoff comes. Because Jenks, it's sneaking up on us. It's we're 25, 30 games in for some teams, and
Yeah.
looking towards a new year. These two teams are facing off in might be the NHL's biggest game outside of the Stanley Cup, and that is the Winners Classic. And Florida and New York Rangers just dropped their jerseys about an hour ago today, as of the recording. And we're gonna, we did this little rant, I think on the last podcast or two podcasts ago, about rating everybody's third jerseys this year. So Jenks, the Winter Classic jerseys of 2026. What are we taking?
So let's start with where we're gonna start with the positive, and then we're gonna trash the other one.
Okay.
That's what's gonna happen here.
All right.
The Panthers jerseys, I actually like them. It's a nod to their, what is it, the Leaping Panther logo or whatever that is. You know, the color scheme is perfect. I'm a big fan. It reminds me in a lot of ways. The color scheme reminds me in a lot of ways of those reverse retros from a couple years ago, but they're using the old school lunging panther logo. I can't. They have an actual name for that logo. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I think it works. I really like those jerseys. I almost bought one of the reverse retros a couple years ago, and I might get one of these for my collection. I don't know.
Okay.
The Rangers, dude, like, you're telling me you have a blank slate almost to come into these games and say we're gonna do something cool. We want to make it a nod to the past. That seems to be the theme with all these jerseys, right? We talked about all the other ones. They just literally went in and they're like, well, we're wearing white, so we'll start with a white jersey. We'll put a couple stripes on the sleeve, and then just put New York on it, and then we're good to go. This is right. One of those like school projects where you completely forgot about it, and you have your mom go out and get a poster board at 11 p.m. the night before it's due,
right.
And you do the bare minimum. That is what the Rangers did here. Well, I got to put something together. I forgot to design something, so
I forgot this was happening, right?
I forgot this was happening. A red stripe and a blue stripe, and we're from New York, so put New York on it. And there's a jersey for you. It just lazy. These jerseys are terrible.
Yeah, it's tough because like you said, all these teams want to nod to the past. Everything's like it needs to be a copy with a slight difference from something they used to wear 90 years ago, which I understand. Cool. But at some point, we're going to run out of freaking old jerseys. We're going to run out. You can't do the same thing 95 times and just change the I or the lettering once every time. Because it's going to get boring for fans. It's just kind of like the Penguins where they're waiting for the right time to bring back the Robo Penguin. They're just waiting for it. And they're going to sell a freaking truckload of jerseys.
I'll be the first one.
Yeah, so everybody's going to buy one. Especially if Crosby's last season. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Yep. New York here had a chance to just create something brand new, right? Like, hey, we're in 2025. Maybe let's think of something fun because this year it's the Winter Classic is against a team that's literally in the best moment of their franchise history. Let's create something where it's going to be the front and center. There's going to be a ton of eyes on it. But we basically have this jersey already. We all have seen this. They've worn it already. Like you said, they threw stripes. The stripes are covering everything. Their pants, their socks, their gloves. It's all over the place. It's kind of like Where's Waldo, to be honest with you.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm not a huge fan. I think the only thing I do like is they have an apple on the shoulder, a little apple patch, which what they should have did is figure out a way to use that right in the middle of their freaking jersey as the logo, but they chose not to. It's okay. Maybe they're saving that idea for later time. But the Florida Panthers take the cake. I love a lot of teams are doing this brown/khaki mixture in their jerseys this year. I don't know if it's a theme. Detroit did it. New York did it for their third this year. So I don't mind it. I freaking love the Leaping Panther logo. We've seen it on Roberto Luongo. I think wears it the best. These jerseys are so cool in the fact that I hated this jersey when I was seeing it all the time. It's kind of like seeing the Atlanta Thrashers jersey. It's
Mhm.
just like so bad. But like when you bring it back for a specific event,
Yeah.
it slaps, dude. It owns. So I really enjoy the Florida Panthers throwback here. New York, they gotta figure it out, man. I don't know. I actually want to ask you a question here.
All right. Hit me.
How do you think the matte helmets are hitting this year in the NHL? Like the matte black helmets. A lot of teams are wearing matte black helmets this year.
Yeah, actually, that's interesting. That when the matte black, I don't know if you remember when the matte black helmets like first came out. Um, like I just remember seeing people start to pop up, and when we were playing with matte black helmets, I was like, that's just like that is
Looks
such a
weird.
weird look.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I when you've got a whole team wearing it and when it fits the uniforms, I think it works. I don't have any problem with it. I in some of the cases we've seen the matte black helmets this year. I like them. I think they play.
Okay.
You know what I don't like is the exact opposite of that. I think the chrome helmets are stupid.
No
I think it's
way.
I think
What?
chrome I think
That's
chrome domes are
insanity.
insanity. I think they need to get
Ah,
out of the game.
you're crazy. When the Kings wear their silver chrome domes with their jerseys, I'll freaking I'll do anything for that. I would I'd give up my firstborn for one of those chrome buckets. I'm not a fan of the matte black. I think it just looks weird. Like maybe it's just me. Like you said, like you're not used to it, so maybe like if they wear it a bunch, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's like a point to where like the lights are hitting the buckets and distorting like the TV things. I don't know if it's like that aspect they're trying to move away from. That's originally what I thought. I'm like, oh, the lights are affecting some sort of TV coverage, and they're like, it has to be matte. Um, but I don't know. I love the chrome buckets. I love just regular buckets. I don't know what the matte black does for me. It just it doesn't match. Like to me, it doesn't match. I don't know.
It only works with a specific type of uniform. Like if you've got, maybe if you've got I'm trying to think of the excuse me, the right way to describe it. Like if your uniform is more like a pastel color palette, then the matte black works because it's more muted, right? Like if you've got a loud, vibrant jersey, you can't go with matte black because then it doesn't fit. It just
Right.
looks out of place. It looks stupid. So it only works with very specific uniforms.
Okay, that's fair.
But the chrome domes never work. Get them out of the game.
No, they always work.
No,
The
get
Kings will
them out of
always
here.
Kings like the way they wear the chrome buckets is freaking awesome. So like you hate Notre Dame then?
Yes, absolutely. Notre Dame is the worst. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing that out. They're the worst.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Moving on to our kind of hot topics of the NHL. This guy was quoted by saying, his career he sees in two parts. The first part, Pims galore. He was, the rat central before Matt Tkachuk took it over. Everybody hated this man, no matter what team he played for, except for Boston Bruins. Brad Marchand hits the 1K mark of his career. Uh, what do you think about Brad Marchand, Jenks?
So it's interesting. It's interesting because my thoughts align with what you just said. Like he's got two parts of his career. Like there's a very distinct part of his time in Boston where all you would see about this guy is he licked somebody.
Right.
He
Right.
he's in the middle of all of this mischief and craziness and what a piece of crap this guy is.
Right.
Nobody likes him. And then you start seeing like we get a lot of media with him now, and he's done a lot of interviews, and there's a lot of reports about, like, for example, the one thing that happened recently that was in the news that he skipped a Panthers game to go coach a youth game because his friend passed away. Or, I don't remember all the details, but his friend passed away. He was a coach, and he stepped in to help. Like, I think he's one of these guys that is a hyper competitive dude, and in the moment he loses his cool once in a while and does something that you go, yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. But I think all things considered, like, he's done enough and said enough that proves, like, at his core, he's like a good dude, and I'm sure he's a good teammate. Like, he's probably one of those guys that, we talk about that every once in a while. You find a guy and you're like, man, I hate playing against that guy, but I would love to have him on my team.
Right.
And there's been some feedback where people are like, yeah, we love having Marshy in town, and he's a great teammate. We like playing with him. Hope he stays. And now we know he's locked up in Florida for a little bit. So I think my opinion on him has changed over the course of his career. I think I definitely see him more favorably now than I did, particularly when he was with Boston. But I mean,
Right.
you can see how much he meant to those fans in Boston when he did the return.
Right.
He got that nice return video, huge standing ovation. I mean, the guy was in tears. But I think all of the headlines create noise to make him seem like a worse individual than he actually is. So I don't, at this point in his career, I have no problem with Marchand.
Yeah, I think what the best thing the NHL has done is do what the NBA has done, where they have like those like Shaq, Barkley, and those two guys kind of do this like mid-game or pre-game like interviews and just joke around and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So like seeing Biz, even seeing Wayne Gretzky, seeing Liam Walsh, I think Liam McEwen, Liam
Yeah, that guy.
I
don't know,
and
but
I
yeah,
forget
that
the
guy.
other guy too. But seeing those guys like chat up people like pre-game, post-game, during the game is honestly kind of fun. And half the time when they play when they cast the Panthers, it's Brad Marchand's talking and chirping Biz. So I think that sort of like interaction really helps grow his brand as an individual, where people just are like, all right, this guy's funny. I don't hate him. It's kind of like the Ovechkin effect, I call it, where us as Pittsburgh fans hate Ovechkin, but within the last 5 years, I'm like, I don't mind him. I actually like the guy, because we're seeing the writing on the wall where people are coming to the end of their career here, and we've seen and been lucky to witness some great players come into the league. So it's one of those things where Brad Marchand's great in Boston. I don't know how people can just not cry when those tributes come on like that.
I
Like,
know.
maybe we were overblown with tributes when people would play for a year and they're like, welcome back. Like, no, no, he wasn't important. He was just a rental. So
I forget who it was, but there was one tribute that the guy literally was there for, like you said, like 2 years, like maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and they did a tribute video for him, and it was like, this is strange.
Yeah.
Like, I remember even seeing people on Twitter being like, why is this guy getting a tribute video? This was like a cup of coffee for him, and then he moved on.
Right.
Like, he probably didn't even stay long enough to make any meaningful connections.
Right. It's just kind of like, would we give a tribute to Jeff Carter? Like, if he played again, I wouldn't want one. Like, as Jeff Carter, I'd be like, I literally didn't mean anything to this fan base. I don't know. It's just weird.
I mean, you don't think the Pens fans wouldn't want the chance to boo him one more time?
No, I don't want him on the ice ever again.
They would play the Jeff Carter video tribute.
Same with Lars Eller. If Lars Eller literally touches a pair of skates again, I'll be right in his face chirping him.
Isn't Lars Eller still playing?
I hope to God not.
I thought
Milan Lucic is playing still.
Yeah, I saw that. He's back in the AHL.
Give it up.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Money must have run out. I don't know. Anyways, speaking of money running out, Jenks.
I'm curious about Lars Eller now. You've got me thinking.
Hit
me with the money thing.
He's dog. I'm telling you, he's bad.
He's on the Senators, by the way.
No, he's awful. Same with Claude Giroux. Awful.
Oh
Anyways,
man. Moving on.
these two leagues, we talked about it, I think, at the beginning of the season, the second
Yeah.
podcast, the third podcast, and now. And we must be the Nostradamus of the NHL because we see these things. Jenks, we're
hmm
we're freaking like we're super geniuses out here. Um, Apparently the NHL had some closed doors meetings with leaders of the CHL and leaders of the USHL, figuring out what we can do in the landscape of how players develop and how players move on from juniors to college to professionals.
Yeah.
And they were thinking maybe we just combine these leagues. Maybe the CHL consumes all the USHL teams where we're kind of like back in like the OHL, WHL, QMJHL, and the winners of those, go to the freaking ship. Maybe it's something
hmm
like that for the United States, and then you have 8 teams go or 12 teams go or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they had meetings about that because the NIL, man, is taking everybody. It's taking even the second line grinders on the OHL teams and on WHL teams, and they're giving them like 10 grand, and here's a free uh, degree, basically.
hmm
What's your thoughts on this? I mean, I feel like we called this was gonna happen.
We knew something was going to have to give at some point. I mean, where we started with this was obviously the NIL is contributing to all this.
Right.
The certainly we've seen the impact in the CHL, but the most impacted is the USHL because the USHL used to benefit from guys who wanted to play college hockey. They had to play USHL because they were ineligible if they went to the CHL.
Right.
So the USHL is feeling the most pain here. I think it was
It's a trickle down
some.
too. It's like
Oh, 100%.
USHL, NA, NA3. They're all feeling it.
100%. It all trickles down and it's impacting it. And the NHL got involved to your point because they're saying, hey, look, all of these leagues need to figure out a way to be healthy if we're going to continue to feed talent into our game. So what do we do about that? And the conversation now is, hey, look, based on regionality, does it make sense for us to just absorb the USHL? Like, so the CHL currently, for those who aren't familiar, the CHL currently has the OHL, obviously based in Ontario, the Quebec League, the QMJHL based in Quebec, and then the Western Hockey League, which has some US teams and some Canadian teams out on the West Coast. So there is a place based on regionality for the USHL teams, and maybe they can exist as one of those branches. So now under the CHL, in theory, you have the USHL, or maybe they'd want to rename that particular league or whatever,
Yeah.
to be determined. But if you do that, you've now created additional teams in these markets in the CHL umbrella. So you're keeping players in the region, and that's going to help to the strength of the USHL,
Junior hockey in
it's
general.
junior hockey in general. So I think there is a path forward to this being successful. I do think it's pretty realistic that we're going to see this actually happen. Um, and I think to the NHL's point, I think it is a huge problem, and they need to address it because this is where you get your talent. Because if there are talent development problems in the feeder systems that we're relying on, you're going to start seeing declining talent over time, and that's going to erode the product that the NHL puts on the ice. They're going
Yep.
to sell less tickets. I mean, it becomes a huge business problem. So the NHL is right to be stepping in to saying, how can we help you guys figure this out? And I do think that the best path forward is the USHL becomes one with the CHL and say we're all going to work together and be sure that we're putting out a good product and we're developing these kids the best that we can.
Yeah, I think uh, hockey's probably the hardest one hit by this whole NIL thing because there's
Yeah.
different paths you can take to get to college and get to the professional level and things of
Yep.
that nature, where football is just like high school, college, and that's it.
Hmm.
Even baseball, right? There's high school, college, and that's it. Um, so I think, like you said, I wouldn't mind seeing the USHL being like the kind of like the CHL being like the head organization, and then breaking up the US into sections, kind of like the CHL, where you have, I don't know what you want to call it, the Metropolitan League, and then you have the Midwest League, and then you have the you can't call it the Western League, you call it something, Rocky Mountain League or whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't mind that, and then saying from those
Hmm.
six different conferences,
Yeah.
we send one team, we send two teams, make it a 12-man Frozen Four sort of battle. They have
Yep.
like the Clark
Yep.
Robertson Cup.
Well,
Is it
the
is it
what?
Robertson or is it Clarkson?
Well, I think you're confusing a couple different cups right now.
Throw the
The,
Sullivan Cup in there too.
the Robertson Cup goes to the winner of the OHL.
OHL,
The
okay.
the Memorial Cup is the tournament between all the CHL teams.
Memorial
So
Cup.
you just add another team to that mix, but you keep doing that like you said, a
Right.
Frozen Four format. The best team from every league gets together, plays a tournament, bada bing, bada boom.
I mean that I feel like that's the only way out of this, because I feel like, just in conversations with, you know refs around the league about, which path to go. Like, there's even in refing, like, you can only ref, not only, but if you ref the OHL and ref the CHL, it's gonna be hard for you to ref the USHL, because they want, like, their guys, right? Like,
Yep.
it's kind of like the NCAA. They only pick from a certain group of guys because that's their guys. You don't go to the Canadian side of the border and ref their colleges and be like, "Hey, I ref NCAA over in the US." They're gonna be like, "All right,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, we got our guys." So,
Yep.
it'll be interesting to see. I That process may open doors for a lot of different things for a lot of different people. I know they have to figure it out because, like you said, hockey's going to go downhill, and kids are not going to know where to go, and they're just going to waste more money on things that they don't need, like the Fed League. I mean, that league. I don't know.
You want to go play some SPHL?
Yeah, no, not in the slightest. Let's go flip burgers. A burger flipper makes more than an SPHL hockey player. So just saying,
I mean,
just
you're not
saying.
wrong.
I mean, where are we going here, guys?
But you're not flipping burgers. You're playing hockey, and you're getting paid to do it. Because right now, at this
Are
stage
you?
in most people's careers,
Look,
you have to pay to play.
but you
something.
have to train. You have to work out. You can't do anything fun. Like, legit, you're just playing hockey.
Yeah, but you're playing hockey.
No, stop. I don't want to hear this argument. Like, you're not, though.
I,
Dry land,
I,
you wake up, morning meetings. Wake up, you do video review. You wake up, you go to the
I,
gym. On ice, off ice.
yeah. I'm arguing with a guy who hasn't played a game of hockey since he left college. So yeah,
I play a different side of the game, Jenks. I'm on the different team.
yeah. Now you do the yelling.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
go ahead, say something to me. You're out of here.
Watch yourself. Oh yeah, you want a penalty? I can give you two right now if you want. If you want. That's a good one. I love that one.
Got him going.
I love
Team
that
up.
one. Yeah, usually it's just like,
Boom.
and I'm like, thought so. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, speaking of teeing people up, Jenks, I wanted to touch on this because I feel like this is there's a lot of pictures going around, and it might be the most beautiful picture I've ever seen in hockey history. The Detroit Red Wings,
Red
Red
Wings.
Wings,
Red Wings.
versus the New York Rangers, um, basically created the Mona Lisa of modern art today. Bench clearing brawl. Appleton, man of my own heart, had to put in the open net after the whistle. You know who doesn't like that, Jenks? the goaltender. Hey, that's his goal to tend. You don't fuck with it when he's not there. Johnny Quick, Glassbones Jones, walked right on out there and gave a few words to Appleton. He's like, hey, don't touch me. Don't touch my net. You hit that net again. I got Matt Rempe. He's up in the suites. He's in a suit. I don't know why they didn't have him out for this game. They should have. It would have been nasty. But all hell broke loose, Jenks. Bench clearing brawl. Would you be in there? Would you be in the muck, Jenks?
Oh boy, give me a good old fashioned Tilly time. You don't see this kind of stuff anymore.
No.
So this go back, 30 years even. This used to be like a once a week thing.
Right.
Like every team had at least one fighter on the team, and line brawls were common. Nowadays, we're lucky if we see one of these a year, and I think that's why it makes headline news. But yeah, good old fashioned. Hey, I didn't like that. I'm going to say something about it. Okay, then you got to do something about it. You got to back up your words. Says, no problem. Happy to do it. Somebody else jumps in. Everybody jumps in, says, I want a piece of the action. And we get, like you said, the Mona Lisa of modern art. I didn't see it live, but I watched the clip after the fact, and it was just pure chaos and entertainment. And I'm we got to get one of these every once in a while, because or else the game gets stale.
It gets boring. Yeah. Man. Like, I couldn't even I bet you the conversations in that shit were great. Just like, F you, F this, F you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man. That had to be fun. Yeah. But, yeah, that you broke it down pretty good. What are you going to do about it? Johnny Quick's like, buddy.
Oh, yeah?
My bones are already broke. I'll freaking go you. Like, I don't care. Yeah, that was great. But yeah, you need one of these every once in a while to keep the ball rolling. But yeah, I just thought that was a pretty. It went viral. Like, I think that the Detroit Red Wings have like 4 million views on their picture that they posted. So yeah, it was whoever snapped that picture.
Yeah.
Made. Well, he probably works for the team, so he probably made nothing. But he should have sold it on the private market. He would have made $1 gajillion. But yeah, that's cool to see. Glad some of that stuff is still in the game. But Jenks, your favorite section of the podcast, the NCAA. I know your boys are hurting. We're hurting this past weekend. So let's give it to me straight. No bias talk. I don't want to hear Michigan State's bad, because they're not.
No bias talk at all here. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll start with Penn State very briefly. Yeah, they took a whooping on Friday night, lost 7-1 to Michigan, but credit to them, they turned it around and they got a win on Saturday, a much needed win against another top 5 and in conference opponent. Beat Michigan 4-2, so that was a good response from them. I still think, they had Michigan State and Michigan over the last 2 weeks, and they're obviously not the caliber of them. We can tell from the outcomes of those games, but I do still think they've got the talent to be in that conversation. I think they just got a lot of new pieces, and they're still trying to put it all together.
Yep.
So I still think they're in the mix for being dangerous in the postseason here. So we'll keep an eye on them. The team that I really want to highlight, Michigan. We can talk about Michigan State, but they're clearly the best team in the country right now. I mean, they've got some top tier talent. They're beating everybody. And man, that game that we're going to go to is going to be so fun.
It's going to be sick. Wait. Yeah.
We can talk more about that later if you want. But the team that I really want to highlight and was on absolutely nobody's radar to start the season is Union. I don't know what's going on with Union, but they've found themselves ranked this week, and I think they've got, what is their record at this point this year? They're 8-2-1 on the season, and they're just coming off a couple of wins against Hockey East teams.
Right.
And that's big for them. I mean, Union is usually one of these teams that, they flutter somewhere in the middle. Last year they had a really good season. They were in the news for, I think they switched. I think they're in a new building this year. They're in a new rink this year. So it was like, are they riding the hype train from, oh, this is our last year in our rank. We gotta ball out. They're proving that they've got some staying power, and a couple strong weekends here. Now they've broken into the rankings. Look out for Union over the second half of the season here. They're the ones that I've got my eye on to potentially keep moving up if they can keep knocking out these wins.
All I can remember
Um,
from Union is them absolutely dog walking us in nationals, and then doing the 1997 goals, score every goal. I think they had like 9 of them. It was just like, duh, duh, duh. I'm like, oh god,
yeah, yeah.
freaking
They, I mean, they've got 17 teams there, so they're
yeah,
just like, yeah, we'll bring a couple guys down from the D1 team, and we'll call up a
yeah,
couple
yeah. Well,
guys from the
right
D3
here,
team. And
the local nasty kid that plays only beer league will bring him. It's Gannon
yes,
hockey. They'll get freaking crushed.
yeah,
But
yeah. But yeah, the two players to highlight. I think Gavin McKenna is getting a lot of flack right now because he's not
carrying the
not
team
this
to
is
victory.
he's not single-handedly carrying a team of full-grown men at 18 years old.
Right.
I think we got to be a little realistic here. Like
All right.
the expectations were probably pretty high because everybody's like, oh my god, he's the best prospect since Bedard, and now he's going to college. And it's guys, we also got to remember that he is 18 years old. He started the
Played
season at
against children
17.
last year.
Playing against in some cases 23, 24-year-old men.
Right.
Like, and he's still putting up. I think he's at a point per game. Like, he's contributing. He's in the mix, and teams are saying, when 72 gets the puck, I want 3 guys on him. Like, don't give him any space to work.
Right.
So they're game planning against him. I think he's had moments where it's like you'd like to see a little bit more out of him, but I think in general he's doing pretty good. The best player to me right now in college hockey isn't a skater. It is a goaltender, and it is Trey Augustine of Michigan State. That guy is unbelievable. He led the U.S. last year in World Juniors. I think he's eligible to go back and be their goalie again this year. He's got 3 shutouts in 9 games. He's got a 950 save. Like, he does not allow goals, and when he does, it's a goal or 2 a game. Like,
Right.
he hasn't gotten shelled. Like, he is back. Like, that Michigan State team is loaded. Don't get me wrong, but when you've got that guy back there, you're like, hey, we can take some chances on offense because we've got a brick wall.
Right.
So to me, he is like, that's a guy who, regardless of what happens the rest of the season, he could single-handedly bring Michigan State a national championship. If
Really?
he gets
Okay.
hot, if he gets hot at the right time, and you ride him through the tournament, and he stays hot, you're gonna get. I don't care who it is on that team that's doing the scoring. You're gonna get contributions. They've got enough good players, but he's the most solid goaltender, solid and consistent goaltender in college right now, and he is like, to me, he's the best player in college hockey at this very moment.
Okay. Okay. Hey, you did your research, Trey Augustine. I feel like that he's a U.S. guy, right?
Yes, yep,
Okay.
he's
Yeah,
American.
he was
Yep.
on the junior team that won gold, right?
Yes,
Fairly sure.
yep,
Yeah. Okay.
yep,
Yeah. I mean, it's good to see like prospects like that actually developing well. And I
yes,
wanted to highlight out of Michigan, the Penguins' own William Horkoff is
yeah.
legit probably our best prospect since ever. Um, and
Except Ben
is
Kindle, who's still in the lineup, by the way.
yeah, but let me just use William Horkoff for a bit. Like I want somebody like Matt Nyes to come out of college and just will us into the playoffs. Like where's our guy like that? We've never had a guy like that ever.
Yeah,
Like where's our
yep.
Makar? Like he's just like, yeah, I'm done playing. I lost a championship. I'm gonna go play in the NHL playoffs and tear it up too. So like, I like where's
Yeah.
that for the Pens? But yeah, Ben
Yep.
Kindle's doing well, doing crazy things. But yeah, I wanted to stay on the NCAA for a little bit, and then we can do our team picks for the week. But yeah, Jenks and I are going to the outdoor game with the crew. What is that? January 31st. Up in
Yes. Yep.
Beaver Stadium, the new Beaver Stadium, right? It's
Still
kind of new.
under. Yeah, they're
Still under construction.
oh, it's going to be under construction for like 3 years.
Oh,
This is a massive.
they
I
they they
forget
got
the
any
exact number.
bar concession stands yet?
Oh yeah, there are concession stands
Okay,
that you can buy
okay,
beer. Don't worry
okay.
about that.
All right. I thought it was a dry stadium.
So that this changed. I don't remember exactly when it changed, but it changed a few years ago.
Okay.
College stadiums used to not be allowed to sell alcohol, and then I think like I don't know 5 years ago or something like that.
They
I think
figured
the
it out.
NCAA was like, "Hey, how much money are we not getting by not
Right.
selling beer?" And they're
Right.
like, "Oh yeah. We need to start selling beer right
Idiots.
now." And I'm sure that was a smart business decision. But yes, all college stadiums you can are eligible to sell alcohol now.
That's good news. Are we gonna be do we have like a tailgating spot, or is that like in progress still?
TBD.
TBD.
We've got time.
Okay. And do we have time?
I also don't know how much we're gonna want to tailgate outside in the middle of January
True.
in Happy Valley because it's gonna be negative 5,000 degrees with 50-mile-an-hour winds. So
The experience, Jakes. The experience.
you might freeze into an ice block and not make it into the stadium. So
I'll have
like
a layer on. I'll have a couple layers on.
it's likely the tailgate will begin at some indoor location somewhere.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, moving on to the writing on the wall picks this year or
Yeah.
this week, Saturday, November 22nd. We are picking full slate of games. Jenks, it's your writing on the wall.
We talked about this team already, and I am just so out on them. I can't be more out on this team.
Okay.
And I think the fact that okay, they got a win yesterday. We're back in the win column. Cool, awesome, great. The Blues stink. Doesn't count as a win. You're going to go into Montreal on Saturday in prime time and play against a bunch of young studs with Suzuki and Lane Hudson and Cole Caulfield. Give me Montreal.
Wow.
I don't know what the puck line is, but give me Montreal puck line.
Wow.
I don't
Okay.
if it's 2.5 or whatever, sure. Give me Montreal all day long.
Okay. Watch it be Matthews' first game back. He's just been resting.
Matthews is gonna have 5 goals and they're gonna shut him out. That's what's gonna happen now that I said that. So
Right.
bet responsibly. Only what
Al-
you're willing to lose.
Always
folks.
responsibly. Always responsibly. I'm gonna go kind of in the same direction where we talked about this team in the Winter Classic, Florida Panthers, and the struggling Oilers out of the gate. I feel like this is the Oilers' time to paint or get off the ladder. Like they're kind of sort of good. They're not really hot off the start here. Is
Yeah.
McDavid gonna stay after his 2-year contract? I mean, I feel like something needs to happen, and it needs to happen sooner rather than at the end of the season, because you can't go into the playoffs freaking a million miles an hour because you're gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get a stick to the face and be done. So I need to see Edmonton. This is a prove it game for me. Are we the real deal this year? Yes or no? And I think they are the real deal. I just think it's they're missing a few points here and there. They're not really trying. I think once McDavid's like, "Hey boys, we just played this game in the Stanley Cup last year. We need to bring that same energy. We need to be on the ladder. Everybody one step at a time. Let's go here. Let's step up, step up, step up." And I think they're gonna get it by 1 goal. Nothing more. No puck line. Just wins. Edmonton over the Florida Panthers, and that is my writing on the wall pick.
I like it.
Jenks, any last final words for the people?
Nothing to report for this week. If you're looking for a coaching job, I heard Toronto might be looking soon, so dust off your resume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think the Penguins' goalie situation has been answered. Mershov,
That kid looks good.
Mershovo, or Mershevy, something.
Keep trying. We'll get there.
First shutout in Sweden. I'll take that.
Yeah.
It's a good kid out there. Hopefully he figures it out, and hopefully Jari is healthy enough to get cut. So we'll figure that out and cross that bridge when we get there. But as always, guys, make sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram at Black Aces Hockey here, at Black Aces Hockey Podcast, and I am your co-host, Blaine Adams. I'm right here as always with your co-host Nick Jenkins. We're out of here. Later.